righty. Hello, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. It is Friday, December 12th already. It's hard to believe that this month is going on half over. But I appreciate want to welcome you all to my live stream tonight. Hope everybody has had a good week or is having a good week. And if you're up in the Midwest where it's like really cold or going to get really cold here in a couple of days, be safe out there and be smart. So just hunker down and we'll get through it. It's supposed to be really cold here, I guess, over Sunday, and then it hopefully it's going to start warming up next week. So I'm ready for it. I'm getting tired of living in a ice box. It's been pretty cold here for a while now. Here, it's been a pretty rough December so far, but again, I want to thank everybody here on the live stream for showing up tonight. Hope everybody, like I said, is having a good week. So, like I said, it's my first live stream I've done in a long time on this channel. I just kind of wanted to do one. Then it's getting around the holidays. Just kind of wanted to, share some stories and kind of want to touch up to that. Having it being a kind of a year-end wrap almost. I should speak. It is it's December. So, but first and foremost, I want to thank all of you viewers out there, subscribers that have been watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Looks like my bridge video took off pretty good. I'm just a small channel. It's not large by no means. And, some of my views numbers are probably pretty small to a lot of big channels out there. But it really took off for me. And it was pretty interesting to see them. But it was a very fun video to make. I enjoyed going out there and looking at that. And I appreciate everybody else that we watched it. It seemed like you all enjoyed it. But so I plan on doing a lot more of that kind of stuff too next year. Hopefully when the weather breaks. I still got some videos in the queue that I have not, still got to edit and upload yet. So those will be coming out real shortly too. So make sure you stick around for those. Make sure you got subscribe and the notification bell going so you know when they come out. Because there's quite a few of them that I'm going to put up there that I think you're going to enjoy. All along the same path of what you saw there at the bridge. But yeah, that was a fun little video. Like I said, I'm pretty impressed how well it did. So kind of shocked a little bit, like I said, but it's just one of those ones that was just, I read about it and I thought, does this say bridge even exist anymore? So I want to go out there and look for it. And there it was. Like I said, I was practically walking on it before I realized what it was. I saw the concrete embankments, get tangled up in the cords. I saw the concrete embankments of the old bridge where the tracks were. I go, they kind of look like walls. I go, well, this is interesting. Maybe this is it. So I wasn't recording this time. I want to walk down to verify it was it. So I kind of walked to where the wall stopped, looked down. And to my right down there, I can see that, hey, this is the bridge. I was literally walking on top of the bridge. And then as you saw in the video, when you're walking on top of that, and you couldn't even tell it was a bridge or definitely not a train bridge at one time. There was no signs of any kind of railways or anything like that, tracks up there. But so I thought, yep, this is it. So I kind of stumbled upon it. I knew I was close. My GPS was right there, so I knew it was very close. So we found it, and I wanted to share that with you and give some good views. Like I wish I could have flown my drone in there above it, but like I said, there were so many trees and everything like that. I really couldn't get a good clearing to get above it anywhere. So, or anywhere really good place to take off and land from. So I unfortunately couldn't get the drone shot in there, but I did get some pretty good shots of it, as good as I could. But like I said, now I went after we had a few cold spells, and so a lot of the vegetation was gone. But there was still a lot left. So I can only imagine how bad that would have been, like in the middle of July. Probably pretty hard to find, trumble through there like I did. But bugs probably been really bad too. But so I did want to wait until we had a lot of the leaves down. A lot of the cold had killed some of the vegetation and weeds and growth up. So that was kind of nice there that I was able to get in there and do that. But like I said, I've got a couple other videos coming up here. I got the haunted location coming up. I think you'll really like this one. It was it was a lot of fun. I don't want to give any. I want to give it any away. I want to make sure I want you to be surprised and enjoy it for the first time as well. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did take my wife on that one, and we did a little bit of investigation at this place. It was pretty cool. We had a great time doing it. So I think you guys will really enjoy that video as well. My wife, she was a trooper. You know, she got a little nervous and got a little, you know, scared at one point, but she stuck through with it and stuck around and stayed with it. So she was, give her the kudos and thumbs up on that. She stuck with it, so that was pretty cool. So that was kind of neat to see. But yeah, that'll be coming up. I got a couple abandoned videos coming up from other couple of locations. And if the weather breaks like it's supposed to, I'm going to try to get to a couple other places this year. Whether the videos get put out before the end of the year, I don't know. I don't know. The holidays coming up, things get a little hectic and busy. But hopefully we'll can get a few more videos shot. At least one or two more. Hopefully, if the weather does break within the next couple weeks, I can get out there and get some things filmed for you and some things that I want to see. But there's a lot of stuff on the plate for next year that I really want to see, and the list grows. The more I research, look around, there's a lot more places out there that I really want to go and check out. So next year is going to be pretty fun. There's going to be a lot of good stuff next year coming out that I'm going to put out there for you. But so just be looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm ready for spring already. Winter, I just really just starting here. But it's, you know, it is what it is up here when you live up in the Midwest. You kind of got to go through these bad times. But we'll get through it. We always do. But really looking forward to what next year is going to bring. I think it's going to be a great year. This year was really good. This year ended really well. So I was pretty pleased with how the year ended, with what I explored, what I did, the way the channel did. So hopefully next year we can get over that, you know, 1,000 subscriber number, and just keep growing from there, and just, you know, continue to grow, continue to share the stuff with you. And like I've always said in my videos, if there's anything, the places that you want to see, or you'd like me to go, comment below. I'll do my best to get there and try to get these out there for you, because, you know, there's a lot of places that people just can't go due to geographic reasons, you know, financial reasons, just a lot of different reasons why people can't make it. But to go to these certain places that you see out there, you hear about, and that's another reason why I want to do these, because some people can't make it out here. And this way you're kind of like you're there with me, you know, because I record it, and what I see is what you see is what I see, is what I want to say. There's no, you know, there's no trickery. There's no one hidden off the camera with me. There's no AI going on. It's just raw footage, with not a whole lot of editing going on. Just me out there exploring and sharing that with you, because, you know, I know there's a lot of channels out there, especially when it comes to like the haunted stuff. You know, I'm not going to channel drop names or anything like that, but it's just, if you watch a lot of those, you know probably what channels I'm talking about, or you know some channels that, you know, it's just not real. I mean, it's a lot of, I mean, it's just not. It's obviously fake. There's, you know, a lot of editing involved. There's people hidden in the background, things like that. Because, you know, when you do investigate things out there, things don't like that happen all the time. But you got people out there, video after video after every single video, big stuff happens. You know, it's not just a hit or a little light on an EMF meter or a REM pod. I mean, it's like, you know, knocking, shadows, supposedly stuff. You know, it just don't happen. I'm just going to flat out be honest with you. It just doesn't happen. So just be leery of those channels. Don't, you know, just take, if you like watching entertainment, just take it as what it is. It's entertainment. But to me, it's not reality. I like being more real. I like having just reality. So, you know, what I see or hear, or what I don't see or hear, you're going to be right there with me, seeing it or hearing it, or not hearing it or seeing it. So it's just 100% real, legit. No cuts, no trickeries, nothing. Just flat out straight, honest investigations. So keep that in mind there. Yeah, I will never ruin my integrity over something like that. I just won't. You know, it may not be as dramatic as some and flashy and stuff like that, but it's going to be real, and I want to keep that honesty, because I can always, it always makes me feel better knowing that I did the real thing, I did the right thing, the honest thing. So enough about the haunt explorations. And like I said, there's a place I'm going to go to next year, but you know, if again, if you know some places you want me to check out, let's put comment below. I'll be glad to do it. If you want, if the things you think I can improve on, no matter what it is, comment. I've had some people comment on a lot of good stuff. I've had some, and a couple things that kind of not really critique, but said, man, I could have probably should have done this. I take it by heart and I try to do it. It's like, I remember that next time, and that's what I do. I take that piece of advice and I try to carry it to the next video, because that's obviously something that they want to see. And if it's not just one person, I'm sure it's more than one that want to see a certain thing, or hear a certain thing. So, that's what I will do. I'll continue to do that because I do this for you guys. So, I'll, I'll take that and go with it, and make those recommendations and things like that. So, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate every comment I get. And I like to hear, and I really love to hear the stories of things, or places that you guys got around you, or places that you've been. Got a lot of good information on that. Like, again, go back to that bridge video. Got that people were telling me those things that they got around their area that they've been or remember or heard of, and things like that. And that's awesome. I mean, that's history. That's another reason why I like doing this, is because I love history. I love looking back and seeing how the past was, how things were, how things have changed. And that's another big reason why I do it, because it's you're kind of like reliving history, and that to me means a lot. The history books come to life, so to speak, because you're out there seeing it, hands on, touching it. But sometimes when you're out there doing that, things don't always go as planned. I mean, like, I did that one short little live video. I don't know if you all have seen it. About a week or so ago, it was about a 3-minute video. There was an abandoned school that had a pretty good massive fire to it. So it was pretty much just the walls left, the structure, that was remaining. But I really wanted to go see it because I thought this probably ain't going to be here much longer. And it was down in the Spartanburg High School is what it was. And the last maps on Google Earth still showed it there. Within a year, it was still there. So I drive probably an hour and 20 minutes to get down there, and as the video showed, it was gone. So they don't always go as planned, and that's a big one. But yeah, it kind of sucked that, hey, it wasn't there. I didn't get to see it, but I really wanted to show it to you. But the only thing left there was just the steps that were by the road that went up to the field, and then of course it was gone. But you did see a little bit of the road that used to drive back to the school. Was part of it was still there, but it was obviously getting grown over with weeds and vegetation. And there was no trespassing signs all over the place, private property. So I'm sure the new owner, whoever it was, probably got tired of people getting on the property, and he thought, well, I'll just tear it down, that way eliminate it. So it was gone. So it was kind of a bummer driving up far to go see it, and it was not there. But that's part of the game. Like I said, sometimes you can't. Google Earth is a great starting point when you're doing exploring. And I always recommend that's the first thing you do. Number one, obviously find out how to get there, where you're going. But it's a good starting point to know where to maybe like park, what's around the area, things like that. But it does not beat boots on the ground, because sometimes you don't know how long ago those photos were taken. So, like that school, for instance, obviously within the last year, it was torn down. So that's the main reason I wanted to make the video, because I wanted to, if somebody else had seen this and they were thinking about going down to go see this school, to let them know, save your time and save your gas. Don't go, it's not here. So I was kind of doing it for that, kind of like a public service message for the people out there that wanted to go out there and check it out. That, number one, it was not there. But it's a great starting point, like I said, other than obviously, location and how to get there and things like that. Kind of gives you an idea of like what kind of terrain you're dealing with, houses around, roads, to pull offs. But it's definitely boots on the ground, because like I said, the last thing on Google Earth was showing it was there. I did see a photo from 24 of the school from a distance, but it was still there. So I assumed, well, it's still there. But like I said, probably within the last year, it was demolished. So, but that's the key there. Things don't things don't always go as planned. You get there, like, I went there and filmed one of my videos. It's batteries maybe don't be charged. You forgot the memory cards or something. Just it's just something with little things. You just gotta work through and you explore it, and it's just part of it. It's part of the game. It's going to happen, but don't let it discourage you. It's just part of the game. So what I try to do, like I said, after I do all my research on the place that night before I go and make sure all my camera batteries are charged, my drone batteries are charged, have all my gear ready to go, and that way when it's all good, I just load it up in my bags, and that time when I'm going for me to go, just grab them, load my truck up, and head out on the road and go to these places. So that's what I want to do. That's so. I guess my next part of this video is probably tips. So that's probably one of my first tip is when use Google Earth to find out the direction of how to get to these places, obviously where they're located, get the terrain, get a sense of the area, what's around it, the houses, turnoffs, drives, roads, things like that. Fields, it just makes it a little easier when you get there. You're thinking, okay, well, I pull in this road, I can park here or whatever like that. It just helps you out to kind of pre-plan it. Like I said, nothing beats boots on the ground. That's the best starting point you can probably have nowadays. So that's the first tip. Like I said, is to do your Google Earth, do your homework on the area, and things like that. And like I said, number two is to make sure your equipment's charged up. You got everything ready to go. Sometimes I'll double check, and then sometimes even I've triple checked, make sure I had everything. So and get everything ready to go that for the next time or whatever, or that day or evening, whatever, and let you load up the car and the truck, whatever, and head on out and go explore. That's probably my second my second tip. And I take some other tips too when you're exploring. I would say to always be respectful of the property. No matter if you're going to, you know, a haunted location, an abandoned location, or any kind of sightseeing or tour, just respect the property. Even on abandoned stuff, nothing irritates me more like when you see these these old abandoned buildings, which they're neat to see. Again, it's history. You try to picture how the place was when it was active and how things were going on. But you go in these places and you see things, windows busted out, graffiti everywhere, things just busted and torn up, and I mean that's just why. Come on, grow up. I just hate seeing that. I wish people just leave things alone so we all can enjoy it and see it how it used to be, or at least mostly how it used to be. But when things get so destroyed, it kind of it takes away the mystique, the fun, nostalgia of the place you're at. So that's the thing I say is another big piece of advice is just be respectful of the property that you're on. And I always leave the property the same way I left it. I don't litter, I don't graffiti, I don't tear stuff up. I just go there to document and share it with you. That's the only reason I'm there. And if there's abandoned properties that you want to go to and you just cannot find a way in, then just don't go in. That's one thing I do not recommend, nor would I ever condone, or would I ever do. I would ever break into even an abandoned building. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't bust a window to get in, or tear down a door, or pull boards off walls or windows just to get in. I won't do it. That's crossing a whole other line that I will not cross. But if there's a way in, I'll go in. But I will not damage a property or force my way in, to any property. I just won't do it. I don't care, abandoned for sure. I just don't do it. It's not good. So that's another thing I say. That's part of being respectful of the property is when you're there, leave it as is. Don't destroy it any more than it is. Please don't graffiti, and don't force your way in. If there's not a way in, then just film the outside and just wish you could get in and move on to the next one. Because there will be times where you go to the properties and there's not a way in, so you just don't go in. It's plain and simple. So be respectful of the property, and also in the same categories, be respectful of the people. If there's people around, try not to be loud, obnoxious. Respect other property that's adjacent or next to that property that you're on. Or somebody comes onto the property that you're on and they find out that they own it, leave. Respect that. If they want you to leave, you leave. You respect that. And if you know it's someone else's property and you know who they are, ask permission first. Don't just get on there. Oh, well, they own it there. Just don't get on there, because there is a video that hopefully most of y'all got to see where I did a exploration of several little small forgotten cemeteries that nobody even knows about. And I went to try to find it. I knew this one was on private property, and I went to a house that was close to it that I thought was where the property, because it was really close to that house. I thought, well, they probably own the property that it's on. Well, there was no answer. So as I was driving down the driveway, a lady in the house across the way was walking towards me. So I stopped, got out, and she says, "Can I help you? That's my mother's house." And I said, "Yeah." I told her who I was, about my channel that I that I got to like to explore and remember, these lost and forgotten cemeteries, respectfully. And I gave her my name and everything, and she was very polite. She said, "I appreciate you asking." She goes, "Sure, that is on my property. I'll be glad to take you." So she got in the truck with me. We drove down the lane where it was, and she says, "Feel free to take all the pictures you want, video you want, and you just appreciate it." And I got on there, and that was pretty cool. You'll get further that way, and just be respectful for that. And I thanked her in the video for that. But I didn't give her name. I didn't give a location because I didn't want other people going out there and bombarding her. And I told her I would do that too. So be respectful of that too. Even if somebody gives you property, don't try to keep the identity a little bit discreet, so they're not being bothered or hounded constantly by, "Hey, will you let so and so on or this?" Because they may not ever let you back on. So try to ask permission if you can, because I think it'll get you further. If they say no, they say no. But like I said, you're going to get further by asking. I really do believe that. So that's another thing I want to say. Just ask first, permission first, and just be respectful of neighbors. If you're there, try not to get on their property or block any access to their property. Don't be loud, and do your business there at that other location. Get up and leave. And I just say, if you leave as is, people at that time people don't even know you're there. So that's the other thing. Advice is like, respect the property, respect the people that are there. So yeah, I say probably other tips. Just always make sure that you are dressed for the occasion, or bring extra clothes or boots or things you might need, because some of these trips can be out. A lot of these trips are all outside, so they can be around some wet, muddy areas. I always like to have my big rubber boots on so I can walk through that stuff and not get my feet wet and everything like that. So I'm always prepared with those. So if it's cold, dress warm, because you're going to be outside for a while, walking or flying the drone or exploring it. Because a lot of these, even if you're in these abandoned buildings, they still get really darn cold inside because there's obviously no heat left, and you got a lot of open area, busted windows, and it keeps the heat, the coolness trapped in there like a freezer. So make sure you always dress for the occasion, or if it's hot, wear cool clothing. But wear practical shoes too when you're exploring. I wouldn't go in there wearing flip flops or things like that. I would make sure your feet are protected with a good pair of shoes with support. 'Cause you might be walking on uneven structures a lot. Walking on debris, rocks, or what have you. So just kind of make sure you're dressed for what you're going to be doing, because you'll be more comfortable. And if you're more comfortable, you'll be able to stay out there longer, explore more, and it'd just be a much more enjoyable experience for you. And then if you're recording, it'll be a better experience for them, because you'll feel comfortable, and you can just go about and not worry about anything, and just explore the building or the location, the bridge, whatever you're at, cemetery. So that makes it good. So that would be another big tip I would say, is to dress for the area, dress for the time, wherever you're at. Just keep that in mind as well. I also like to kind of in that same frame. I like to I like to carry some water with me, maybe some snacks, in case I get hungry out there. Always like to have water, because every time you get done exploring, it's always good to have something to drink. And kind of hydrate a little bit, refresh a little bit, um, and that's always good to bring with you like that. So that's really about the main things I can say. Is that's about the most important parts I can think of right now for exploring. But if there's anything I left out that you can think of, comment below and ask on that. As far as gear, you hear a lot of different opinions and variations on gear, what to use. You could just start the phone. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got one of these, and they've got great cameras on these things now. And the microphones aren't too bad for starting out. Or you can even buy a little external mic for these and use it and use that. But the cameras on these things are pretty darn nice. I've seen these cameras put out some better video than just a straight camera that's not as good. So that's a great starting point. I would also suggest some kind of tripod. For definitely a tripod. If you're using a cell phone, if you want to get even better, use a gimbal for image stabilization. If you make that even better, was always a good recommendation. Gimbals are now a fairly good price. Go to Amazon and get you a good gimbal if you want to do the phone route. Because again, like I said, you're going to be walking on uneven territory, uphill, downhill. Maybe ducking through things and stuff. So it's always going to have a gimbal to keep the camera stable as much as possible, so you're not bouncing around and getting dizzy off of watching it. And probably more important than video quality, and this is with anything. This ain't just about any abandoned buildings or anything, but it's audio. Because people will turn off a video for bad audio faster than they will video. They're a little more forgiving of a lesser quality of a video than they are of an audio. Because I mean, honestly, if you can't really understand what somebody's saying, it sounds staticky, you can't hear it real low or something, you're just going to turn off because you just can't enjoy it. So I would recommend when you can, get you a good set of microphones. Some of these wireless mics now are really getting good. The DJI makes a good one, Rode mic makes good, and the ones I use are the Hollyland Lark M2, which I absolutely love. They're really small, you can't even hardly tell they're on there. About the size, big around of a nickel, so they're really nice and very, very easy. They sound great. They got a transmitter. Comes with two mics. They recharge. It also comes with the transmitter. I can even use them on my phone. It comes with both the standard USB-C ports as well as the fast charge or the Apple. If you got an older iPhone or whatever, it comes with that as well. So they're very versatile, but they sound great. And they come with windsocks. They come with the lanyard. They come with clips because they're magnetic. They got a little back on it. They also come with clips so you can clip them onto, like if I wearing a hoodie, I like to clip them onto my drawstring for extra security. But they sound great. And the camera I personally use is the DJI Osmo Action 4. I love that camera. And the camera itself has great internal microphone as well. It's really good, but it in the wind, it picks up the wind. I mean, it doesn't no disguising that. It picks up a lot of wind. So, or if I'm going to be inside of something or even outside, I still like to use the wireless because sometimes I may set the camera down, walk away from the camera, but yet you'll still be able to hear me just as good as if I was standing right next to the camera. So that's another advantage of the wireless. So I still like to use a wireless mic with the action camera, but so I recommend a great microphone. But yeah, if you want a good camera like that, the DJI Pocket 3 is another good camera that a lot of people use. It's very good. It's got a viewfinder in it. It's a gimbal camera. You're probably all familiar with the Pocket 3. The only downside I see to the Pocket 3 is it's not waterproof. I do like the fact that the Action 4, if you want, you could dunk it underwater or film underwater without anything on it. So that, long as your covers and stuff are closed. So, but the Pockets are not waterproof. That's the only downside to them. But they are a very good camera. They're real small, and they're inconspicuous. They're not real bulky. So that'd be another good alternative as well. But I think DJI makes a great camera. But I've got a few tripods that I use with that to hold, to extend out to hold, or if I want to set it down on the ground and walk away, like I said, and film something, you can do it with the tripod. I'll have access. I can stand it up on a wherever I want to stand up on, it'll stand up, and then I can still record. So, but you don't have to get nothing fancy. You don't have to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on that. Not when you're getting started. I mean, it's a lot of people have been filming videos, no matter what they film on YouTube, just with a cell phone. They've been doing it for years, and their videos are blowing up. Got big channels, um, and they look and sound great. People film just from the car, just filming from their phone. So you don't think you have to go out there and have the biggest camera to go start exploring or whatever you're doing. You don't need it. So, but if you do want to get a good camera, I recommend a good action camera. I really do. The fact of the waterproof capabilities, that they shoot great video, and it's just they're just very versatile. They're very versatile, and I like them. They're small. So that would probably be my recommendation as far as gear. I don't think you need a whole lot more than that. Once you get down to special, you might want to get more specialized things, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm more speaking to the entry people, the budget people that may not have a whole lot of money and want to get started. And it didn't have to be filming abandoned buildings. It could be any kind of YouTube channel, talking head channel, tech channel. You want to talk about whatever. Just start with the cell phone. It'll do you just fine. So don't worry about yourself with gear so much. But I would want to give some recommendations on if you do want to start out with semis. That would be my suggestion. Just get a nice action camera, that and a good set of wireless mics. Because I mean, so those Lark M2s are great microphones, and they're not expensive at all. But they sound really great, and they work with everything. So that's really about it with gear right now. Like I said, if you guys got any questions on gear, more about what I use or what I recommend, or have you heard about this, ask me, comment below, shoot away, and I'll try to do my best to answer them or find an answer for you. I do try to respond to every comment that I get on my videos, because I don't take any view or comment for granted. I love it. I appreciate it, because that means that you guys are out there watching. That makes me feel good. I know what I'm doing is working for you guys, and it helps me improve, and I like that. So just if you got any question, anything, no matter what it is, just comment below and ask me. I'll do my best to answer, or like I said, try to help. So I pretty much covered it. Like I said, about as far as the band stuff, about my tips, the basics of exploring abandoned buildings. Like I said, if you do go at night on places, I always recommend, make sure you have good flashlights. And it's just good advice to make sure you got a good flashlight, and let somebody know if you're not with anyone, even if you are with a group or one or two of you. Let someone else know that ain't there where you're at. So like if they don't hear from you or whatever, that there's a place to start. Like if something happened, so let someone know where you're at for safety reasons. But yeah, definitely at night, bring a good flashlight, a couple of them, because you never know, you might lose mine. My battery might go out of one, you might lose one or something. So it's always got a backup. I always carry this. I always probably have at least, I don't know, in my bag, it's probably 2 or 3 flashlights that I have that I just to in case I need them. I always have them there with me, carried around. So that's the one thing I recommend if you're doing at night a video, is to make sure you got a good flashlight, because you also want to be seen. Like if you're happening to walk around a road or something, you want to be seen, for safety reasons. You want to be able to see your area. Like, if there's holes there or steps or something you shouldn't be stepping on, you'll be able to see it. So it just helps with safety as well. So I always recommend a good flashlight if you're going to be doing anything at night. So I just kind of want to throw that in there. It just kind of popped in my head. But yeah, that's really about it. I've been going on for a half an hour. It's pretty quiet in here tonight on my live stream. This is my first one, so that's pretty much. I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. But I want to thank you again. If you watch this live stream, I appreciate it. If you watch it later on, I appreciate you listening and watching. And once again, I want to thank you this year from the bottom of my heart to all you viewers and subscribers that and people have commented on the videos. Truly appreciate it. It's been fun doing this. I look forward to doing a lot more come next year. But I do, like I said, I do have some more videos coming out. So this is the last. This isn't the last one for the year. I do got some more coming out. So again, y'all have a safe weekend. Like if you're up in this cold Midwest, be careful, be safe out there, and hope everybody has a great Christmas. It's right around the corner. So then next thing you know, it's New Year's, and then next thing, spring will be here before you know it, and I'm so ready. But again, that's all I got for tonight. I want to appreciate y'all out there and enjoy it. Happy holidays. Next video, I'll see you. Take care. Go make it a great day. See you then.